Thanks for joining us for the first Google Hangout of HR Rockstars. I'm so happy to have you join us. We are with exceptional leaders tonight, people that I highly admire, and great people that are across. We have a good representation across the country tonight. We have people from Ottawa, Toronto, and PEI. And just to say that this discussion is going to be infectious. We're going to have fun. We're going to hear about some key events that are going to be occurring over the next few months that you will want to notice and pay attention to because key experts in the HR industry are going to be, in discussions talking about it. And also, we have a great public servant, federal public servant with us tonight that represents, I believe, the millennial generation and it's setting an example for many public servants. So without any further ado, I will ask Pamela to introduce herself and then we can just roll and start having a great dialogue together. Thank you. I'm Johan Gauthier, by the way.
I was just going to say, tell us who you are.
Yeah, who I am. So anyway, yeah, exactly, Pamela. So I'm turning the table to you, and I haven't introduced myself. So this, this is part of the amusing, right? We're not script. We're not. There's no notes here that I'm following. So briefly, I'm Johan Gauthier. I'm leading this HR Rockstar, group of James Bond leadership bloggers on nothingButExcellence.net, and really happy to be, joined by these people that are brought together by a common purpose, which is really to, reinvent, nothing less, create a renaissance in the HR leadership and talent landscape by really doing what we're going to be doing tonight, which is creating opportunities to have real and game-changing conversations where we are ourselves. We're not trying to be something else, and we're sharing freely what we think, and we co-create together. So, Pamela, I think that's enough for me now.
All right. So, hi everybody. Thank you so much, Johan, for having us. My name is Pam Ross, and I actually have my own business, but I've worked in corporate roles in HR for about 17 years prior to starting my business. Are you getting any feedback from me, or is it okay?
There's a bit of
it's okay.
Yeah, we should be fine.
Just echoing.
Hold the microphone closer to me. Does that help?
We'll ask Tim whenever we have an issue. Tim, there's something.
All right.
Yeah.
So I also produce an event called Impact 99, which is an HR summit where we bring together 99 workplace leaders, mainly in the realm of HR, and we discuss how we're reinventing work. This is our third year to put on this summit. It happens in Vancouver and Toronto for the last 3 years, and we're really, how it came about is that we're really sensing this is a time of huge change, whether it be, the opportunities of globalization across all different industries. There's economic pressures like we haven't seen before. There's a huge lack of trust in leaders, and lots of Gen Y entering the workplace. 75% of the workplace is going to be Gen Y by 2025. So there's a huge change there, and the biggest change that we're seeing is technology and social media and all the different new workplace technologies that give us so many different opportunities to connect and collaborate and build a really engaged workplace. So all of those factors at play, we're really sensing this is a time that HR can really take the lead and build awesome culture in organizations and engage people differently and really help organizations in all sectors to become more innovative, more agile, build trust, and use technology in innovative ways to do that. So that's what we talk about.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Pam. Really grateful to have you here. I think you're setting an example for the whole industry. And so let's hear from Jody. Jody, nice to see you tonight.
Nice to see you. Thanks so much for having me. And I'm so happy to connect with all of you. And Pam, I absolutely love your blueprint, the first 4 chapters. I'm really excited to see all the ones that you're releasing in the next few weeks.
Awesome, thank you.
I'm hearing a lot of feedback when I'm speaking. Are you?
A
Must be
little
because.
bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, there's a little bit, but it's
Wonder
manageable.
if I should just unplug my speaker while I talk.
This we're experimenting, so go ahead.
Say it again?
I said whatever suits you, Jody. Go ahead.
Perfect. I don't have any feedback now.
Okay.
Well, I've been with the I've been with the HR for the last 3 years. I work at a Veterans Affairs Canada in Charlottetown, and I work in values and ethics. Most of what Johan is speaking about is a lot of my corner of desk activities. For Youth Network, I've been the past chair. I was chair for 2.5 years, and I'm still currently involved. And we do all kinds of things for employee engagement, connecting people through social media. I've been able to connect. That's one of my things that I speak about across the country. Is here I am in Little PEI. I was managing 2 national networks, and because of social media, I've been able to reach out to all my connections across the country. So I was an early adopter of that. I'm involved in so many things that I wish I never had to sleep because I'm very, very passionate about being involved. The Ethics Practitioners Association, Institute of Public Administration, we're organizing a TEDx in January, and also you may have heard of the Collaborative Culture Camp and the Collaborative Management Day through the public service. So I'm very, very interested in being involved in this initiative. HR is very close to my heart, and I really want to make a difference for the next generation and for all public servants. So I'm grateful to be here, and I absolutely wish I had a teleporter because I'd love to be in Toronto for your conference, Pam, and I'd love to be in person there to meet you all tonight. Thankful
Oh
for
my goodness. I would love to have you. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay, perfect. Jody, I get so excited when I hear about the things the public sector is doing to become more collaborative and innovative. There's so many awesome opportunities with technology, and Johan, thank you so much for setting up this connection because I'm so inspired listening to what you're doing and how social media is playing a role. It really is such a great opportunity for the future. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Pam, and thank you, Jody. I think, and we're gonna be hearing more from Jody. But that's true, Pamela. What you're saying is, often people from the outside have an impression, but I think just by having Jody and myself tonight is a good example that there are outstanding brand ambassadors out there that make a difference and that care about workplace excellence and engagement. And we serve the public, and the standard of excellence is high, and we're there to serve and provide added value on a day-to-day basis. So you don't get that unless you're committed and you want to make a difference. So thanks for the great comments, family. They're heartfelt, as we say. So Chantal, now's the HR rockstar moment for you.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Chantal Bechervez. I have the last name that no one can spell and no one can pronounce, so I'm good with everybody just calling me Chantal. I've kind of done everything. I've touched a whole bunch of different careers. I have been a flight attendant. I've worked in radio. I've been a project coordinator. My first role in HR was as a recruiter. I worked as a staff in a staffing agency, and I actually recruited for the public sector. That was my specialty. And that's what started my love of HR. So from there, I now work at the Ottawa Mission. It's a homeless shelter for men in Ottawa. I live in Carleton Place, originally from Montreal. So I can switch from English to French, no problem. So working at a homeless shelter is just an incredible experience. I do HR and the executive assistant role there. I do multitasking because I love to be busy, and because of my love of HR, I've gone back to school. So now I'm getting my HR degree. Right now I'm taking 3 classes online while working and have my family. And in my spare time, I started a blog, and I love social media and I love connecting with people. My nickname at work, actually, the clients that stay there call me Smiley. Whenever they see me in the hall, they're like, "Hi, Smiley," because they don't
That
know my
seems
name.
suitable.
And then I just got connected with Johan and now you guys are all awesome, and it's so great to hear your stories. It's so inspiring. And I'm just excited to take part in this.
Well, you are a real gem, Chantal. You know, I'm in the talent management business, and I take pride in just connecting with gems and diamonds. And you are. I think we may have lost Tim. I don't
I
know.
scared him away.
Let me, because this is the beauty of
Nope.
life.
I'm
No,
here.
you're still there?
I had to jump up for a minute, but I don't like people seeing me go off the screen, so I just mute my camera.
All right. So thank you, Chantal, for being who you are, and I think you're doing. You know, I like the community aspect. Of your work, and it's so important to me as well. Really impressed by your presence, your energy, and the flow. It's wonderful to have you and the team in this discussion. You're bringing.
Thanks for inviting me. It's awesome to be with you guys.
Yeah, you've already made a difference just by being there, and it's only a start. So, Tim, my man, this is your time. There you go. Up to you.
Awesome. No, it's great. It's great hearing everybody's story, how they came to be where they are now, and where they're going, and what the ideas in the future is fantastic. My background is in the hospitality, retail, entertainment industries. I worked for years in hotels and for movie theater companies, mostly in operations management. And it was so through that, and then actually made a bit of a switch and did some work with employee assistance programs as an account manager. And before I knew it, things started to come clear to me when I had met so many HR professionals that what I had enjoyed doing, loved to do all along, and did well at, aligned very much with what HR had to offer. So much like Chantal, I went back to school and did my HR education, got my CHRP, and hey, there he is.
Sorry. She doesn't know who I'm talking to.
Okay,
Yeah,
now's
she
the
can't
time.
hear. So I and then and started sort of on my HR journey, because it was at that time that I started to build my community of HR, my HR network. And then once I started to build the network, then I started to build the relationships. And it wasn't too long after that I started then looking back at things that I had done in operations management and that kind of thing, and saw where the alignment was, and it almost started to make sense. I started to understand what it was I was doing before, but I just kind of didn't know what it was called. That it had a name, that there was, it was talent management, it was, whatever, and I didn't quite at the time know. And I think probably the thing I valued the most are the relationships that I've made, and social media played a big part of and making that happen. Especially my favorite, Twitter, is just awesome. I think I'd probably, like, if that disappeared tomorrow,
I'd cry.
well, Tim was a nice guy. It's so sad to hear about his demise, but because I don't know what I would do. And that's there were so many people that were great about connecting me with people, that where they could see alignment or commonalities or whatever it might be. That, I mean, I love to do the same, and so when I see people that what they're talking about, and I know this is happening over here, like people are talking about making a change in the workplace and reinventing and stuff, and then I'm like, hey, have you met Pam? Do you know about Impact 99? Which I was there last year in Vancouver and Toronto, and it's an amazing. I hate to even call it a conference, because it's not really that, like your typical conference. And I enjoy, and that's how Johan and I got connected. He just sort of, we had been connected actually for a while, and I sort of didn't really realize it. and then all of a sudden, poop, he just popped up again and was like, just engaged with me. And it was so impactful that, it clicked. We started talking about things and realized that we have much more in common than just HR or whatever.
Yeah.
There was, I'm looking, I'm sort of in transition right now, career transition, but I just told somebody yesterday or this morning that I've seen much more alignment in what I want, my past experiences, and what I want to do, more in the last 2-3 weeks than I've seen probably ever, as far as my my aspirations for a career and whatnot. But I was saying to somebody too, it's more, I'm an HR professional, but that doesn't mean that I'm just an HR professional when I'm at my job. There's many other things that I want to be involved with, and it's volunteering with the HR association, or mentoring, and starting little projects on the side and trying things out. So, and that helps me build build an extended network as well, but build knowledge and expertise, and I get to do what I love to do.
Well,
I don't know if that did that flow. I don't know if that flowed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let me just say, Tim. I mean, you are a great connector, uh, and it's the way that when you and I connected, I think, there wasn't any marketing. You automatically made the connection with Impact 99 with Pam, and so I went, okay, I need to talk to Pam. That's at that level that the connection was, and to me, you're good at creating infectious connections. So, and I think the competency is about giving. You're not doing it because you want something in return. You're doing it because you love to help people. And I think that we are living in such a world where the talent is on every continent right now. We could be Googling with anybody in the world. It's about giving. It's a free resource. The giving is it's all at our disposal, and that's what we're going to be doing. So, Pamela, I want to give you an opportunity to give us a better, flavor for what's coming up for you. As you know, I mean, workplace excellence and engagement is a very dear subject for HR rock stars. That's pretty much our mantra. Whatever we do is in support of to sustain workplace excellence and engagement. So, off to you, and based on what you're saying, we're going to engage, hear what Jody has to say after that, and
Sure.
it's going to be fun.
My goodness, it's such a huge can of worms to open up. Just talk about engagement. So Jody mentioned our blueprint for workplace reinvention, and so my partner Christine McLeod, who is out in Vancouver, actually Squamish, BC, little place between Vancouver and Whistler, out in BC. We have been kind of talking to organizations and interviewing people and doing tons of research and finding out the stories of what's happening in organizations and who's really doing amazing things and how are they making it work, and what's working for them that's not working for other companies. And there's a few strong trends. So two things that we're finding. One is trust is the sort of foundation of positive culture in an organization. Lots of organizations are doing things like buying the newest, latest technology, the brand new shiny tool, and they implement it and then no one uses it. And I think that a lot of that comes down to the amount of trust they've built in the organization, the amount of transparency people have, the alignment for what the tools to be used for, and it's, so trust really becomes foundational. So we decided trust was really the foundation of our model for building, reinventing the workplace. Uh-oh, we lost Johan.
Something funny happened in there, and I don't know.
I know.
Continue.
Selena Gomez must
Continue.
be on or something.
Yeah, okay.
And then the second piece is agility. So how do you build agility? Well, you first start with trust, and then there are some core competencies that you can build to develop agility. So we've developed ultimately this model for reinventing the workplace that starts with strategic alignment, making sure that your whole organization is aligned to goals, vision, objectives, and just the whole purpose of the company. Then we get into authentic humanity, and I love that, you know, Johan kind of started us out there talking about this is all about authentic leadership at all levels. For us, authentic humanity is about being able to be yourself, your full self at work, and it's about connecting to a higher purpose than just your job itself, the work itself. I see Johan is just all smiles, and I'm dying to know what was happening in the other room.
I don't think I've ever seen him not smile in all the times that we've chatted.
I think if he's not smiling, then we have something to worry about.
Yeah, like I'd be.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I was listening. I just needed to take care of a personal matter.
Okay. Then we get into individual leadership, so people holding themselves accountable, no need for micromanagement, really treating people as adults, and then into operational transparency and sharing information. And we believe that if you can build those 4 principles within the workplace, you will create trust. It kind of organically will grow from those principles. Then we have to create agility, you have to look at increasing your digital fluency or digital IQ. So being able to use these social tools and collaborate and be able to communicate with each other using technology, because in most workplaces nowadays, exactly. In most workplaces, we're not all in one location, and that's, you know, really 1982. So we have to get used to the fact that people don't have to actually be in the physical building. We don't have to go to work. We have to do work. Work isn't a place you go. Work is something you do. So really getting used to using technology to help with that. And then being able to collaborate across departments, across functions, across geography. That's what we call dynamic collaboration, and actually contracting and building teams as they're needed. So you might be on a team for a project and then move on to another team. It's not dependent on your role all the time. And then finally, relentless innovation, and really looking at failure as learning and being ready to take some risks and try things, always for the end goal of that, you know, that foundation of strategic alignment, that we're moving the company to the right direction, and you're taking these risks that should go there with that meaning. And ultimately, that should build agility. So we've kind of created this model. We've written an ebook. We've got tips, about 10 tips for each of those principles. How do you actually get started in your organization? We really believe in, you know, when I started my business, I was like, I love helping my clients create change, but I want to do it across the entire country. So how can I have more impact? How can I do more than, you know, the 2 or 3 clients that I'm working with at a time? That's where Impact 99 comes in. So it's not about, Tim, you said it's not a conference. It's really unique. It's very interactive. It's very technology is kind of a backdrop to the day with the Twitter stream, and we're going to do a global Google Plus Hangout, and we've got a digital learning lounge this year. So there's tons of unique stuff happening all day, but the goal is not to create an event, it's to create a movement. So everything we do, we try to help create action coming out of it. So the ebook has tips to actually act on. At the end of the day, everyone's going to leave Impact 99 with some action plans for what they can do in their workplace. The goal, like I said, it's not, we don't want this to be a great event that people feel really good about and then go back to their same old work. We want these 99 people to go back to their 99 workplaces and create change in 99 organizations. So if we can start doing that, then we can have a huge ripple effect across the country.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh wait, I was just going to say, because I had to just finish off with, or continue with Pam said. The one thing that's the reason why I said that I don't like to call it a conference, because everybody, there's a typical, you think conference like, you know, listening to people talking away going boring, but it is very interactive. What is fantastic about it is that it doesn't end after that day. Like, it continues on, the community continues on. There's continuity through. There's meetups. Christine's doing stuff out there with people. Pam's doing stuff here with people. The community, the conversation keeps going, and that's really what it's about. Because it you know, it helps people with those people that the takeaway and they want to make the change, so it doesn't kind of fizzle out within themselves. That community keeps going, and it's great. I mean, it's fantastic.
And there's thanks, Tim. I mean, that's a very good point that, you create an opportunity for discussion, an event that, happens once, but then it continues. And I like the movement part that, it's about, the energy that you're building at one particular event that people, bring back to their workplaces, and there's a ripple effect. And there's a hashtag, which is Impact 99, I believe, right, Pam?
Right.
Where people can follow you, and people are that community. They want to engage. There's so many gold nuggets in what you mentioned. From trust, agility, being nimble, relentless leaderships. Those are key concepts within the present turbulent times that we have to be mindful, but also be authentic and make ourselves vulnerable and do it. Another thing I like is I think your conference. There's to me there's a link with the industry experts as well. That what you're doing has been researched, it's been discussed. So you're not going there with sort of things that are thrown. It's been thought through, and that I really appreciate because it makes my work more meaningful, to be honest with you, because we need to be connected with people in the industry. We need to know what's out there. So kudos to you and your Christine, right? We should have added her, but maybe that's for another discussion.
Yeah. It's hard for her sometimes at this time of day because she's having family dinner and stuff. But yeah.
There we go. So vive le Canada, as I often say at the office. So.
Yes.
So Jody, I mean, there's so much happening right now in the federal public service, as you know, and you're leading. You're playing a key role as well. Workplace excellence and engagement is very dear to us, and you and I, share that common bond. But you're much into the action. You are doing outstanding stuff, and I'd like to give you an opportunity to hear more about that.
Well, speaking of blueprint, I know your booklets are a blueprint as well, but you may have heard of the clerk of the Privy Council had recently launched in June the Blueprint 2020, and that's looking at a visioning exercise of when Canada turns, 153 years old in 2020. I was involved in a similar initiative 5 years ago. It was the Canada at 150, and that was looking at a visioning foresight exercise of when Canada turns 150 years old in 2017 and public service renewal, and that was 150 individuals from across the country, very new in their public service career. And what I love most about the Blueprint 2020 is it's not a top-down exercise. They're really engaging with everyone on the ground level. You can go right on the clerk's website and contribute. You can go through all the social media tools, the GC 2.0 tools, Twitter. They've made it so easy for people to contribute, which really has engaged employees in giving their ideas, and they're really looking forward to seeing things come into action when the final reports are completed. So I've been very lucky. I got to help organize the clerk's visit. I got pulled over for 2 weeks to work on that initiative. But with the Federal Youth Network, we've had some really exciting initiatives that really engaged employees. We had a letter to my manager. I'm not sure if you've seen that in the Canadian Government Executive. Yeah. With the Federal Youth Network, it's 14 regions across the country. So instead of just having a departmental or a regional or a unit voice, we were able to give people a national voice. And within a 6-week period, we went out to all our members across the country and said, what would you like to see from your manager? What would you like to tell them? What's going well? What's tricky? What would you like to see improved? And we took all of their input and we wiki composed it online through ClearSpace and created a letter that we published in that national magazine. And a couple of months later, the managers actually did a reply, and they wiki composed the reply. So we had 2 huge engagement strategies where people were able to voice their concerns and voice all the things they would like to say to their managers. So that was one initiative. We've launched a reverse mentoring where youth it tends to be managers tend to be traditionally mentoring youth, where we put it into the reverse. Since our generation's fairly savvy in social media, we created this network where across the country, where people just have to go online, call the person up, and they can arrange for mentoring. It launched into a national mentoring inventory with duo mentoring, peer mentoring, and then, of course, the traditional. And we just recently launched a mobile app to help our members take take their career into our own hands. A lot of our employees, they are or they can't do their career development during the day, so we created this mobile app where they can go on in the evenings, weekends, whenever they have time on their lunch break, and they're able to take their career into their own hands. So we've all been able to do this off the corner of our desks, evenings, weekends, and because we're passionate about it, it's a volunteer initiative, and we love it. So
That is
just a couple of
amazing.
examples.
That's great.
Wow.
Wow. Hashtag wow. 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 I personally, I just am so amazed by, and you say that in such a humble way as well.
I know.
It's like, Jody, I have so much respect for what you do and the leadership role that you're playing. We need more people like you, so that's why we're having that discussion. Maybe that's going to inspire action, but I think you've already done it, and it's fun that you're taking one thing and then it becomes a bigger initiative, and then it encourages others to take action. So. I'm a curious person. I'm really interested to know more about the mobile app, and I'm sure Tim does too.
Yes, I can share the link offline if you'd like. We just launched it,
Yeah.
and we created it with the Canada School of Public Service. They use their platform, and I'll give you the link so you can load it onto your iPhone. But we've had various armchair discussions, one with Tony Clement in particular there on open government. We've had Andrew Kreusch come and speak to us as well. And we have a leadership series that we do. So we have those on there as well, and various videos for people. And the one we have in particular is the whole resume and online applying for jobs, and how to really break it down so that you get screened into things and you develop your competencies, not just in your day-to-day work, but all the things I'm doing in my volunteer roles would really contribute to my competencies that I could use for future applying for jobs. So breaking down those barriers for people.
That's amazing. I love when you said just making things simple for people to get involved. That's so important. I was just watching a TED Talk the other day about this, about how apathy is not really apathy. It's because we make it too difficult for people to care and get it. Well, people care, but it's too difficult for people to get involved. And by simplifying it and using wikis and all the different social tools, now people can get involved. And imagine the knowledge and the talent that is unleashed when people can get involved in what they're passionate about. That's just awesome. Love it, love it.
I love that word, unleashed talent.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I picture that. I actually picture like we've been kind of bound in this kind of industrial age of thinking that we must go to work at a certain time and do our certain job and not ask questions and do what we're told. But nowadays, you can make such a difference when you allow people to do what they're passionate about and to bring ideas forward and that sort of thing. There's so much more potential.
Absolutely, Pam. And I want to. So I guess now that we've heard you and Jody, and there's so many wows that's going in my head right now. Both of you are amazing, unstoppable. That's just fine. Let's continue to unleash this discussion. Want to turn to Chantal, maybe offer her an opportunity to not put you on the spot, but I just did, I guess. That's
okay.
Of no script and just having fun. So, but Chantal, you're passionate about HR. You've heard Pam and Jody. What are your first impressions? And let's start the infectious conversation.
I think it's awesome what they're doing, and it resonates with me because I'm a big proponent. I'm a lifelong learner, and I'm back in school, and I'm a big proponent at work. Like, I love HR and I love what I'm doing, and I like to help other people branch out and learn things. I don't like keeping people in a box or a role. Like, I have a receptionist that reports to me, but she's interested in working in the volunteer department, so I go out of my way to go to the volunteer department and say, well, what can you train and show her to do that will help you? And I mix jobs at work. I'm good at doing that. I don't like keeping people in traditional jobs. I kind of want people to learn other things, and I'm a big proponent of, oh, you don't want to do this, but you want to do that? Let's see how I can help you do that. And I'm a big advocate of MOOCs, and I'm trying to incorporate that into work, into training, because it's free. So, I mean, there's nothing better than having free training from great universities around the world. So I promote that a lot as well.
Yes,
and
I just signed up for my second Coursera course.
I'm doing my
I know, I
second
have
one.
to do that.
They're incredible.
Oh, it's awesome. If you guys, you have to take Inspiring, what is it? Inspiring Leadership Through Emotional Intelligence. It's an awesome class.
Oh, that was in June, wasn't it?
Yeah, but there's one starting in October.
Excellent.
Awesome. I just signed up for Creativity, Innovation, and Change. If anyone wants to take it with me, it starts next week.
Oh, I saw that one.
That's, you were talking, Pam, about few people talked about things like Coursera making them being accessible.
Yeah.
And I mean, think of what that has already and will unleash. It's watching and I'm sorry, I don't remember her name, on the TED Talk talking about Coursera that founded it, and it's just incredible. The story about the university, and I don't remember where it was, that opened up like 10 more spots for free for people, and there was like a mile-long line of people, and it's there. There's so much that people want now. Social media is making things more accessible. There's so many more things that are accessible, and I think it's only going to it's just going to create an environment where people can. It's going to unleash such great things in the future, the things we probably don't even realize yet. And as it leads to, but you can be being accessible in your own workplace, or making things or opportunities accessible to people. I love the idea that you've got all these people in your organization, and they all have their roles. Well, what else are they capable of? What do they want to do? What are their passions? What is the self-constructed knowledge base that you already have in your organization? And why don't you use it? I mean, it's there. You can pay anyone to come and sit in a chair for 8 hours a day and do whatever that role is. But you're hiring people because they have the skills and the knowledge and the experience to do that role, but because you also see a fit with your organization, and who knows where you could take that organization, to what level, if you tap into the self-constructed knowledge that's already there.
And I think, Tim, I mean, to me, the message that I'm taking from what you're saying is, and Chantal, you all mentioned it, is learning and development. And I think now that with technology, the emergence of so many possibilities of connecting, and at your disposal, accessibility is really high. I think our discussion is a good example that we are actually learning. Continuous learning is happening. It's in the doing. It's how you do it. It's how you connect with other people and learn in the process. I think you accelerate your learning when you're in connections. When you're in, and I think it speaks to Pam's point about trust as well. That when you're in trusting relationships, people are gonna not give you permission to try out stuff. It's going to be a natural thing. You are going to empower yourself to try new things. There's going to be an openness. So I'd like to hear, just continue a bit on that, because I think, to me, leadership is in the doing and connecting with people, having infectious conversations like we're doing right now. Like, I've learned new things. I wasn't aware of these things personally. I just, I'm going to go to sleep less ignorant tonight. So, that's, so. But Pam, I don't know. I mean, what happens? I guess. I mean, we're presenting this as okay. This is what the world has changed. You've pulled in a lot of industry experts. You've developed, blueprints and documents that are quite useful to situate ourselves as lifelong learners or to be more effective in the workplace. But uh, what does an effective workplace look like? What is the role between a manager and an employee? How is that, from your perspective, from what you've heard, so critical to making it, to ensuring that you're able to deliver whatever you are at the level of excellence?
I think that first of all, we need to treat people like adults. So we still we still manage workers like it is you're getting paid for the hour and that time you spend in your seat. And so I think that first of all, the leadership needs to be authentic and honest and when you hire someone, start in a place of trust. We talk sometimes about you have to build trust to get it. You have to, show that you're worthy of trust. But I believe that if you start in a place of having trust for someone and you have that conversation with them, you can actually have such a more positive experience. So it is kind of entering into a relationship of trust right at the beginning, setting really clear expectations. What's the result that you need from the job? Give some of the learning if they need some knowledge, but really set people free to figure out how to get their job done in the way that works the best for them. Let them be adults and figure it out, and also let them give ideas, suggestions, feedback about the stuff that they're really passionate about. Because the more they can feel really connected to the work that they're doing, the better work that they're going to do. So I think like I said, it's trust, it's treating people as adults, it's setting them free to get their work done the way they need and being there to support them. Treat everyone as a leader. They lead their role, and as long as they know the result they need to achieve, that's what you need to look for. I do believe in Jody Thompson's results only work environment. Oh, this is one of the books you will get if you come to Impact 99, all about results only work environment.
Yeah, I was going to say the dog is really happy, but you're saying so many gold nuggets. I mean, it's why managing sucks. So that's part of the homework that people are getting before, or you're giving it at the conference.
We are having a meetup on September the 19th, so anyone can come. It's free for attendees. It's just $15 for those who are not registered. But anyone who's registered will get their books at that meetup on September 19th. If you don't make the meetup, we'll give you your book on the day of the conference. So you actually get two books. You get Jody's book as well as, I think I have somewhere here,
The Flat
Army, and I don't know what I did with it, but it's I was reading it, so I took it away.
I saw it on the Facebook feed earlier this week, I think.
Yes, those are our two keynote speakers, so you do get their books at the conference.
Wow, that sounds like a really exciting conference. 99 people from across the country representing so many workplaces. That's a wealth of information and connections. I know just by the sounds of it, it's going to be infectious. Jody, I mean, you've been, as we've heard you, there's so much happening. I want to make the link with what Pam just mentioned, and give you an opportunity to add to the perspective in terms of, the call to action that you've seen from the couple of key engagements that you've been involved in and leading, where what kind of difference have you seen from a call to action? You've been quite involved with the clerk in your region, but just in terms of that sort of for employees, managers are coming back. What have you seen? What have you noticed? How does it feel like from your perspective?
Well, there's a really engaged group of public servants across the country. And what we really encourage them to do is instead of putting courses on their learning plans, they should put initiatives where they can volunteer and gain competencies and skills. And that's what really sparks the enthusiasm in our public servants. Not going and spending 5 days in a course learning. They're out there on the ground planning events with, I'm not sure if you've heard of Collaborative Management Day. We've had it
Yes.
the last 3 years. And
Yes.
that's a forum that's organized by public servants for public servants. None of us have a mandate to organize it in our day jobs. We do it off the corner of our desk in evenings and weekends just because we're passionate about it. And the skills we get from that alone, that can lead to future positions. And my learning plan the last few years has not cost my employer any money because everything I'm asking for is basically to be able to gain these skills outside of my day job. And just to be able to have that flexibility that if I need an hour here, I would make up the time. It's a shared commitment. And like Pam said, it's all about trust. You trust in your employees that they are going to put in their 100%, and if they're engaged, they're going to be putting in 150%. So if you give them this little bit of leeway to get involved in things that they're passionate about, then they are going to give back to the organization tenfold. So it all comes down to that relationship with your employee. I'm very lucky. I love the job I'm in. My manager is incredible. I never want to leave because I have that perfect combination of a great person I work for and a job I enjoy, especially getting to be able to do the various initiatives I'm involved in.
Well, I mean that's an example of a trust that Pam speaks
Sorry,
about.
I lost you there.
Yeah, so I mean, you're in the trusting and a nurturing relationship, and you know, what's more beautiful to see an employee and a manager working at their best, co-creating together and achieving levels of excellence that are just make work enjoyable and fun. Ultimately, it's we're spending a lot of time at work, and when it's fun, it's fun. I will say, Jody, just in response to your collaborative management day, and I just want to put a word for Stéphane Tourangeau because Stéphane is, I think, a leader for many public servants, young public servants like you and I. I'm a bit older than you, but still consider myself as a young public servant.
That's okay.
But Stefan, has been there since the beginning, and he's a real champion of those collaborative management days. And I like your point about it doesn't cost a lot of money. In fact, next to little, when you're letting employees be creative and innovate in their practices and allowing them to what I often say the office experimental doodle. You just let them figure it out, and they will come up with solutions that you're at the end going to be surprised. And the clerk has noted them in his reports as well. So Chantal has talked about potential. You do it. I like the care. Your heart really comes out, Chantal, when you're talking about the secretary. And Jodie talks about she's in a trusting relationship that's really having a great impact on her. Pamela is talking about the importance of trust. And Tim is trusting us that we're going to go in the right direction with this conversation. So he's quiet for now. But I just want to, give you an opportunity once again, Chantal, to maybe just add on because, potential is so critical, and I think you made that point. So.
Yeah, it is actually. It's kind of funny that Jody and Pam were talking about it because it was my blog post for today was the boomerang principle. And that's what I wrote about. And it's basically if you want trust, you have to give trust. So whatever you want, you have to throw out there. So if you want your employees to be trustworthy, you have to trust them. So that's what I wrote about today, and it's what you guys have all been talking about tonight. So it's great.
That's awesome. What's your website, Chantal?
It's my first. It's C.R. Bechavez. So good luck spelling that.
Oh no.
.wordpress.com. I can send you guys a link after.
Okay. Yeah. And let's all tweet our links to any site that we use with the HR Rockstar hashtag.
Yeah.
Thanks for the free publicity.
Speaking of that, are we all going to be helping contribute to your 007 blog, or do you already have all your bloggers lined up?
No, well, no, absolutely. You know, at the office, I never, when my peers are asking me for advice, I never say no. So I say yes, but in this case, I will say yes and yes.
Fantastic.
So no, I think Jody, if you're interested, the door is quite open. In fact, I would be quite grateful if you're joining the group. As I mentioned before, we were in the hangout. Uh, you know, I grew up in the ranks through a development program. I strongly believe in development programs and unleashing potential. We need to have to ensure that whatever we do with HR Rockstars, that millennials are not only feel themselves like they are seeing themselves represented, but they are there and doing it as much as other people are represented. There's so many issues we need to cover from an HR perspective, from a leadership development perspective, from a talent management perspective. At the end of the day, I think you're as good as, if you're talking about an issue that concerns the millennials and, we have 50-year-old, I don't want to insult people that are 50 and more year old, but I've been in conversations where the average age is a bit older and nobody around the table, so to speak, is there to represent that. So to me, I'm a person that I open the discussion. I want to ensure that all perspectives are represented, and it makes for a richer. It's about giving, as you're saying, Chantal, and giving is giving. So, Jody, the door is there for you. Pick your number. Pick your.
Can't pick 006. That's mine.
Fun. I do blog for GTEC and Canadian Government Executive. I don't know if you've seen they just launched a new blog last month. But I love to write. I have my own personal blogs as well that I really enjoy writing. So if you ever want me to be part of it, I'm thrilled to be.
Well, we would be honored. This is part of the magic that happens in this conversation. So, and thanks. Look forward to our. Tim and I will be in touch with you, and as we're part of the, we're trying to kickstart this. Chantal is a part of this as well. So, in the next few weeks, we're gonna, as we are testing a collaborative platform right now, and I've posted a few blogs to try to get the message out. And so the momentum is going to sustain in it. By having people like you contribute, it just it's dear to me because also we're public servants and we're setting an example. So much for me. The time is running. I want to give each of you, I guess, an opportunity to maybe offer closing comments, and I'm sure the people that are listening to this are going to go. Don't finish this yet. It's been, there's more to this, and maybe there's going to be a part 2 or part 3. Who knows? Let's leave the door open. But I'm going to start with Tim because he's spoken. The last time we heard him was a while ago, and then and I just love listening to Tim because he's always interesting, and we always co-create interesting things together. So over to you, Tim.
I just been really enjoying listening, which was a bit of a change for me because I tend to be long-winded and ramble. But no, I think that this is just. I love when great people, great connections happen. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that everyone is doing or thinking or the same thing or have the same opinions, because I think it's just, there's got to be some common goals and some common ground. But I love it when people come together of different backgrounds, different experience, different ideas of how something should look moving forward. And I'm the type of person I love conversations. I love talking with people. I love listening to people, and so this is this initiative, this hangout alone has been great. I love listening to what people are doing, the initiatives they're taking. I'm starting a couple. Obviously with Johan, this is fantastic. It's a great opportunity for me. Still trying to start a little something else that I didn't get a chance to mention before, but I won't go into it because there's not a lot of time left. But if you ever want to check out hrengine.ca, I'm still trying to, took a bit of a rest for the summer, but it's the purpose of that, because of my real connection with mentoring, is for new HR grads or those transitioning into HR, is a forum for guest blogging discussions. We do live on-air Google Hangouts that we try to bring in some subject matter experts, or we just discuss topics, and it's for HR graduates to have a voice, to get some exposure, to talk about the things. It's almost to bridge that gap between the school and theory and, quote, real life. It's, you'll see more about that, because it's something I want to continue doing, because I love doing it. And I think it's a great thing. And we're trying to reach out to different graduate groups and whatnot across Canada to create a bit of a participant pool to get together for these discussions. So that's just a little thing that I'm kind of doing on the side, and it's fun to do. I just enjoy doing it. So it's I think this is I think it's a great group of people that we have here tonight talking. And I think Johan too for really being the inspiration behind it, and for bringing these great people together. And so it's yeah, it's fantastic. I enjoyed it.
Thanks. I'm grateful, as I often say at the office, and then my bosses start laughing, and we laugh together. Pamela, a few words.
For sure. I'm going to keep it really brief. I believe that we spend way too much time at work for it to not be awesome. So I believe that now is the time, really exciting time to be in HR, really exciting time to create really positive change in organizations and unleash your talent. I love hearing what Jodie's doing, what you're doing, Johan, and hearing your passion, Chantal. I can't wait to talk to all of you more. And I would love to have you all, and anyone who's listening and who's passionate about the workplace, come to Impact 99. So go to impact99.ca and come to Toronto in October. But thank you so much for setting this up. I just love talking to passionate people about the workplace and how we can really create change. It's awesome.
Well, you are a passionate person, Pam. So thanks for being there. You are. I like the word awesome. Awesomeness. The more we use it, the more not only do we convince ourselves, but we become awesome. So you are awesome. Thanks for being there. It's so wonderful to hear you. And I'm going to be following your hashtag. I have been, but more and more from now on, for sure. Jodie, thank you. Jodie, over to you. You know, it's been an outstanding evening with you. I hope we're not keeping you too late.
Oh, that's okay. I'm a night hawk. I like to stay up late. But I echo all your great comments. I absolutely loved tonight. And it all started with a tweet. You know, you called me on Monday and connected me with all these incredible people. And 4 days later, we're having a hangout, and I feel like I've known you all for a very long time. So I'm really looking forward to collaborating with you on various initiatives and just connecting. And we're all in human resources and can learn from each other. And very grateful to be involved. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Jodie. You're a great connector, just like Tim and Pam, and Chantal's an HR rockstar and a great connector as well. So over to you, Chantal, a few words before we leave each other.
I'll say ditto. No, it's been great connecting with all you guys. You guys are all really inspiring, and the work that you're all doing is so great to listen to. I'm very much an extrovert, so I'm on social media to connect. Everyone's like, well, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I'm not here to sell anything. I just want to share and learn. And that's my passion. And listening to you guys, I know I'm going to learn a lot from all of you, and it's awesome. You guys are all awesome.
Yay, awesome.
Tim, you want to say it, or? So, yeah, I think what we have done tonight, you know, let me offer a few closing comments on your behalf and for everybody that's listening to us. You know, I think Jodie, I like your twist there. You know, we connected on Monday, and here we are a few days after that, and then we're having a hangout. But I think what brings us together is our ability to connect with one another and being open to change. And in that, there's a lens of possibilities that are created. I remember the first time that Tim and I connected, and the way that I was connected to each of you is the same way, and the way that we are connecting together, it's real, it's infectious. We're not trying to sell anything, but we are connected with the best industry experts and with Pamela, and she has an amazing event. I'm not marketing anything. I'm just saying, pay attention to people that are acting in good faith, want to help others, um, and are connected with people across the country.
I want
And
to see what Tim says on his screen. What does it say there, Tim?
yeah, he added something, eh? What did he add? Oh, yeah. Oh, Tim, you
Oh,
want to say?
he has
Thanks.
to talk to make it bigger.
Can you? Oh, there it is.
The four people. The four people.
Are you on
left.
my left? You're on my left in the picture.
That's so awesome.
It is awesome.
Well,
They don't have enough room. The E is hanging off the end. Anyway.
That's why I love Tim so much. Anyway, I'm full of love. I think this was a huge love fest. The connections that we have made. I want to leave the door open for us to maybe do a few others before the event. Before Pam's conference, and I know that I'm going to make the best effort to be there, and I'm sure others will as well. So, in a nutshell, it's been a pleasure to have all of you HR rock stars. By the time that this is going to be going live, we're going to have a few posts to basically summarize our discussion, and want to make sure that the links that that we've made in our discussion, either the hashtag or some of the key things that came out, are going to be captured on paper somewhere. So I will commit to try to do that and share a summary with you. So by the time this is going live, we're going to have a post that is going to frame a discussion, and then people can join more infectious conversation with HR rock stars to sustain workplace excellence and engagement. That's what it all is about. It's about having fun. And as you all said, the four people on the left are awesome. So Agent 003 reporting for duty. That's Tim.
That's me.
I'm 007. Chantal, what's your number?
006.
And we'll have to figure out which one is available for Judy to pick up. So, there's room for talented people. So let's unleash it.
Fun. And you're Agent 9, Pam?
Agent 99.
99. Oh, I love it.
Might as well be, right?
There we go. Yeah. So with those final words, thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and let's make sure that this conversation is not a one-time thing, but creates something bigger, and that we are all feeding off one another and connecting in stronger and better ways.
Thanks
Thank
for everything.
you.
So
Awesome.
much.
Have a great night, everybody.
You
Take
too.
care.